Hello, everyone. My name is Sandra Ray. I'm the founder and CEO of Glowee, a non-environmental biotechnology startup that's using the power of bioluminescence to revolutionize the lighting industry. You can see my slides. Great. I'm going to talk to you today about lighting. Lighting is a universal need, of course. It is the first marker of development, and it's also a social and environmental issues, unfortunately, because of the way we use light today. We use basically bulbs, today mostly LEDs, but even if LEDs are consuming less energy during their consumption period, in terms of production and end of life, there is a lot of challenges and mostly environmental challenges to tackle with this technology. So behind lighting, there is a technological challenge that we have to face in order to make the industry cleaner and more sustainable. Which is also an important market opportunity for us because we can, a new lighting system, a biological light system, we will be able to enter the market and transform this industry and turn it into a bioeconomy. So we have all these problems around lighting, and we know how important light is. And in the meantime, you have all these creators, mostly marine creatures, that are making a biological light that is called bioluminescence, which is basically the result of 3.8 billion years of research and development made by nature. So we have very lucky that nature has done all this research for us. So our goal today at Glowee is to get inspired from what nature has done and take bioluminescence as an alternative solution for the future of lighting. So let me talk a bit more about what is bioluminescence. So bioluminescence is a biochemical reaction happening in nature in a different, all sorts of organisms. So you have more than 80% of marine organisms that are able to produce light, actually. So you have things like squids, fish, sharks, corals that are able to produce this light. But you can also find it on Earth, for example, on the fireflies or glowworms. What's interesting about this phenomenon is that it's very well known. Everybody knows that it exists. So now what we have to do is to take everything that nature has done to transform it, turn it in the lab to an actual innovation that can be socially beneficial for everyone. So what we do is that we use marine bacteria, naturally bioluminescence, that we first have identified. Then we transform them in the lab, make them evolve to make them more efficient in terms of lighting production. And then we grow this living light in order to create lighting systems for tomorrow. What's interesting behind it is that it's a biosourced and biodegradable material that's able to grow. So it will basically reduce the environmental impact on the production part and on the end-of-life part in order to use less natural resources, for example, create less waste, and really create a whole industry that is more responsible. So the goal behind using this bioluminescence is, of course, revolutionizing the whole lighting industry with this biological light, with three main advantages. So the first one I mentioned is tackling the economical, ecological, and health-related issues about lighting. We can also talk about a phenomenon like light pollution, for example, which is the fact that artificial lighting is disturbing all the ecosystem and biodiversity, for example, the trees, the insects, which is disturbing all the ecosystems. Then we can, with this new material, really rethink the way we produce, consume, and enlighten while jumping into a bioeconomy. And finally, we can increase the creative possibilities because bioluminescence is a liquid light that can take a lot of different shape. So we can really rethink the way we illuminate cities to make them more sustainable for tomorrow. So at Glowee, we are a biotech company, and our strong expertise is first on selecting the best bioluminescence microorganisms in order to produce the best light possible, then engineer them, and then adapt a bioprocess to basically define the best condition for those bacteria to produce an efficient light in terms of intensity, in terms of stability over time, and over different kinds of temperatures. And finally, what we do is that we design the product that able the bacteria to grow, which is basically like an aquarium. It's called a bioreactor. Traditionally, it's used in the labs and different industries like the bread industry, the yogurt industry, the beer industry. In a factory, but really in real life and mainly in almost now 6 years of high knowledge on also what doesn't work, which is also creating a lot of. So our goal today is to put this bioluminescence in our streets, because we think this is where we're going to have the best environmental impact. So we've signed the first public market contract with the SIT Alumni, which is a city in France next to Paris, in order to produce the first bioluminescence street furniture. It's a 2-year contract where we co-develop with the city the actual furniture in order to really answer their needs. And then the goal is to test it in situ and then replicate it and deploy it over the city of Rambouillet, but also over basically all the cities, starting with Europe, of course. What we have done so far is that we've managed to create a system that will produce continuous bioluminescence inside. We have installed the first unit last February in an hotel next to Lyon in France. So this installation is basically a relaxation experience using bioluminescence. For us, it's a way to operate a system and to really anticipate everything that we will have to handle when we will have a system on the streets. So now our job is to really accelerate R&D in order to improve. Test this first urban furniture to then create a catalog of products to answer all the needs for urban lighting. So I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I invite you to get on board with us together in this illumination revolution. Thank you very much.